Hello, everybody. I'm here today to bring you another episode of Sunday Sauce. For those of you that have been continuing watching me when I do this, thank you very much. And I'm glad you're here. For those of you new to this, what this is I do like a Bible devotional or reading, just some of my thoughts on what I'm reading, life stories, whatever it happens to be that week. So I just wanted to let you know that. And a lot of my ideas for doing these comes from various different things, of course. Some of them being from the Dollar Tree. I've done several different series on different things. And some of the books that I get these out of, I just look at in the Dollar Tree section for the books. So just wanted to let you know that. And so here's just some examples of some of the stuff that I get from the Dollar Tree. And I'm sorry if this camera's a little shaky from being shaky, but there's people in here that are kind of shaking the table a little bit when they touch it all the time. So sorry about that if that's happening. And so just wanted to let you know there's the 9 Fruits of the Spirits here books that I've gotten. I've got like 5 of them here. For example, this one's Joy. Just kind of showing you what different types of books you can get. Here's Patience. You know, all these different books I've gotten. I've gotten a few other ones like a Christmas one at one time. The New Living Translation Bible Promise Book for Men. They also have one from women, which is kind of nice. It's really thin, obviously. All relates to the Bible. Just nice, simple books. And so there's just some of the examples that I've gotten from there. And of course, you know, I just kind of look in there and see where God is speaking to me through those of the Bible and kind of going from there. And one of these things, I just thought this was so beautiful. I forget even where I got this from, but it's Mary and Joseph and Jesus. You see little sparkles go around. I kind of just keeping that by my desk. I just think it's pretty neat. I don't think that came from the Dollar Tree. I very much doubt that, but I just thought that was pretty. And then one thing that somebody wanted me to show you too is this cute little puppy. Isn't that cute? So, which I've kind of got this puppy in here because today I'm going to be reading about the 7 days of when God created the earth. Even when He created sparkles here, you know, God created all the animals of the earth, the skies, the whole earth, everything. So I just kind of wanted to read through the 7 days of when God created everything. I just think it's miraculous. Some people think different things of the creation, things, the time frames. You know, people say maybe, you know, what He called the day might have been 1,000 years, 10,000 years, 100,000 years. I don't know, all that stuff. But I'm reading out of the NIV in my good old large print Bible here, starting in Genesis, of course, at the beginning. I'm going to read basically Genesis 1 and then a little bit into probably into 2. A little bit into 2. So kind of covers the 7 days pretty quickly. So I got a little drink of my orange juice here. It is morning time here in Michigan where I live right now. It's going to be another warm day today. I think 85 or I think even up to 90 today, I believe. And for Michigan, which is pretty warm. It's definitely summertime heat for us. Once in a while we'll hit 100, but for the most part we're more humidity and 90-ish. So good air conditioning day and to stay inside and clean up your house and that kind of thing. Go to church, whatever. We did most of our running around yesterday, so we should be able to just kind of stay put at home today, which would be nice. Get a little cleaner and just some relaxation, as you'll see in this passages I'm reading, because on the 7th day, God said it was good to do something. So let's get right into that. Okay, starting at number 1. It's the account of the creation is kind of the human title. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty, and darkness covered the deep waters, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters. Then God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that the light was good. That he separated the light from the darkness, and God called the light day, and the darkness night. And evening passed and morning came, marking the first day. So first day he just kind of, made the formless earth, and God called light day and day night. Yeah, it's a pretty good busy day, I think, for day one. He got a little bit accomplished that day, I'd say. Then God said, "Let there be space between the waters to separate the waters of the heavens from the waters of the earth." And that is what happened. God made this space to separate the waters of the earth from the waters in the heavens. God called the space sky. And evening passed and morning came, marking the second day. So he separated heaven and earth, made this space that we now call space, pretty much still. So that's awesome, called the sky. Then God said, "Let the waters beneath the sky flow together in one place, so dry ground may appear." And that is what happened. God called the dry ground land, and the water seas. God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the land sprout with vegetation, every sort of seed-bearing plant and trees that grow seed-bearing fruit. These seeds will then produce the kinds of plants and trees from which they came." And that is what happened. The land produced vegetation of all sorts of seed-bearing plants and trees and seed-bearing fruit. The seeds produced plants and trees of the same kind, and God saw that it was good. So wow, he produced all these things, and he made them so they could reproduce. And he said they reproduce all over it. That's where the time frame comes in. Is it like a day, like we know, 24 hours, or they reproduced multiple times? Is this where thousands and tens of thousands of years come in, where the vegetation is spreading across the earth? I don't know. There's all kinds of theories out there, but I'm just reading what's in the Bible, and it's really interesting, I think, that it's put this way. And I always like how this happens too, where he says, "And God said," and then it happens basically. So what God said, that's the kind of power he has. And evening passed, and morning came, marking the third day. Then God said, "Let lights appear in the sky to separate the day from the night. Let them be signs to mark the seasons, days, and years. Let these lights in the sky shine down on earth." And that is what happened. God made two great lights, the larger one to govern the day, and the smaller one to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set these lights in the sky to light the earth, to govern the day and night, and to separate the light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. And evening passed and morning came, marking the fourth day. So God sees all these things as good and marks these days. Then God said, "Let the waters swarm with fish and other life. Let the skies be filled with birds of every kind." So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that scurries and swarms in the water, and every sort of bird, each producing offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply. Let the fish fill the seas, and let the birds multiply on earth." And the evening passed, and the morning came, marking the fifth day. Again, he made them, bless them, and made them so they could multiply and fill all of the earth. I just think that's awesome. God created all these creatures that we see. So when we look around us, everything that is living and live, God created. It's awesome to see all the different birds. I mean, just the sheer scope and every imagination of all of this, or however it came about through what he was thinking. God said, "Let this happen," and it just all happened. Is amazing to me. Then God said, "Let the earth produce every sort of animal, each producing offspring of the same kind, livestock and small animals that scurry along the ground, and wild animals." And that is what happened. God made all sorts of wild animals, livestock, and small animals, each able to produce offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make human beings in our image, to be like us. They will reign over the fish in the sea, the birds of the sky, and the livestock, all the wild animals on earth, and the small animals that scurry around on the ground. So he made humans, and we are to reign over them, which also means to be good caretakers of them. So God created human beings in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. So that's just awesome. I mean, he created male, female, and we're created in the image of God. I don't know, the image, that's just the likeness of how we look, or image of God is how we think, how we love, all that kind of thing. So, but that's awesome. I mean, we just heard of all the things God created, and we're made in the image of that entity, that God, the deity. I mean, that's all we can way we could put it, and that's just we were blessed by that. Then God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and govern it. Reign over the fish in the air, in the sea, the birds in the sky, and all the animals that scurry along the ground." So again, he made human beings so we can multiply and create more of our own kind also, which then in turn are more creatures like us in the image of God to reign over the earth. And then God said, "Look, I have given you every seed-bearing plant throughout the earth and all the fruit trees for your food. And I have given every green plant as food for all the wild animals and the birds in the sky and the small animals that scurry along the ground. Everything that has life." That is what happened. Then God looked over at all he made. He saw that it was good. And evening passed and morning came, marking the sixth day. So God created human beings, male and female, in his own likeness, and we're to reign over them, and just he set everything up. He made us just a perfect world, and that's awesome. And he made us just such a perfect world. And at the end, he said that is good. He said human beings were good. He liked it. He was satisfied, and that marked the sixth day. So, in number 2, now we're going to read a little bit of that. So the creation of the heavens and the earth and evening and everything in them was completed. So on the seventh day, God had finished his work of creation, so he rested from all of his work. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because it was a day when he rested from all his work of creation. This is the account of creation, how the heavens and earth. So that is the creation of it. The seventh day, he rested and declared it holy. So for some people, they believe that's Saturday, other people Sunday. But you have to take, I believe, one day out of the week where you need to rest. In today's society, people are scurrying about. They're going crazily about the thing, working 7 days, doing things 7 days a week, always having an activity every day of the week. They have to go to, or multiple of them. There's all this activity, but you need a day to rest, a day that God declared holy. Right there, I just read it. So I believe it's good to, on those days of rest, also maybe go to church, stay home, read the Bible. Do something where you're just kind of reflecting on God and how he created the heavens and the earth, created us, and made a way for us to go back into heaven eternally after sin came into the world. And I think that's just something we need to do, something that is hard to do. It's hard to take one out of our precious 7 days that we have and take one and rest. You can get a few things done on that day. You don't have to take it to the extreme of, oh my goodness, I just lifted a fork. That's work. No, we're not under the law that way, like in the Old Testament. We're underneath the New Testament, but it's still good to take a day of rest. Okay, just try it once. If you're just a busybody going all over the place doing this and that, try and take a half a day of rest once. Try to take a Sunday or whatever day you happen to have them. You might have off from working and doing what you do, and take a little rest. Um, it might be just physically just laying in bed, relaxing, taking a nap, taking a walk outside can be a day of rest. And try to make it holy as well, as God declared it a holy day also on the day of rest. So try maybe opening up your Bible a little bit, just open up this and just kind of do what I just did and read a little bit in it. Or maybe take that day of rest and drive yourself to a church and listen to the pastor and what he's got to say or she's got to say, and just take that day of rest. Take that day to make that holy. I don't think you'll regret it. I've done this sometimes in my life, and other times not so good. The times that I'll tell you what, my life goes better when I listen to what's here in the Bible and I stay in God's Word and I go to church. My life just seems to go more like it's supposed to go. And when I fall away from that, my life seems to go the other direction. So, important to take that seventh day. It's not only because God commanded it for us to have that day holy, but it's because it's good for us. God knew that we needed this day. Needed that seventh day. So, I hope there was something in here that inspired you today to maybe take a little bit of a rest, take a day of rest, or just something else in there that sparked it. It's also just kind of neat just to read in the Bible and hear about God's creation, right? How He set us to reign over them and everything like that, all for us. So it's just amazing. Thanks everyone for sticking with me here and kind of getting to the point here at the end where we need to take a day of rest. I hope your rest of your day and week ahead go good. And I hope to bring these to you. I try every week or so, but it's sometimes there's a week or two in between. But I try to do this every week, so I can bring you kind of the thoughts and a little devotion on Sundays. And I just thank you once again for watching. Hope you have a great day. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe down below, of course. I usually like to say that at the beginning of videos, but anyway, love you guys, and I'll be praying for you. Be good.